from stab mills, and by transition I mean transform, and by transform I mean upgrade your stab mills into head mills. So a lot of people, it's probably one of the most asked questions I've ever gotten, and that's how to transition or transform or upgrade your stab mills into head mills. A lot of people start with learning stab mills, which I'm personally against, but it's okay. Everyone's got their way. And they start in stab mills, they don't know how to get to munch mills, head mills, barrels, etc. afterwards, because they started with stab mills and they get stuck with stab mills. Because when you start with stab mills, it's really hard to understand head mills and the rest of them. So today I'm going to simply go over the easy way, because it is easy to get from stab mills into head mills. Let's go. So the biggest issue with stab mills is that you do not use your head. And for a lot of our ground power, we use our head. So, because they're scared of hitting themselves and hitting our heads, which I get, it's totally normal. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna lose that fear. How we're gonna do that is we're gonna get comfortable going to our stab, but with our head on the ground. So rather than holding this position, okay, you're gonna go to here. So make sure you're comfortable in a stab with your head on the ground. Then, once you got that, you're gonna learn how to rotate your hips, like this. So you're facing the ground, rotate your hips down. Facing the ground, rotate your hips. So, how you do that is by being strong enough to literally just raise your legs up. So, practice this a couple times, raise, drop. Once that's good, at the top of it, once you're here, twist it to your side chair. So if you notice, my tabletop, my elbow is gonna rotate onto my hip. So you're going from that stab, which is facing the ground, to here. So that's number one, make sure you got that. Now once you're comfortable with that, rather than dropping onto our back, we're gonna drop into our shoulder freeze. Just go with me here, okay? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna start again, tabletop, the head's on the ground this time. Rotate to here, then you're just gonna push your legs straight up like this. As you do that, you're gonna slide this elbow down, like that. So make sure you're comfortable with this. Pushing your elbow back towards your legs. Boom, just like that. So your legs are up, and you're pushing, elbow, shoulder freeze, you see? So how I do that is by, again, raising my legs up so that it takes the weight off of my stab arm. So, going here, and twist, then push both hands, shoulder freeze. Now let's put that step all together. So you're going from here, head down this time. You're gonna twist, shoulder, okay? So if you wanna put a little bit of power into that, you can do your old school style wind up, which is like this, and then you can go up, shoulder. Now from our initial shoulder freeze drop, which is here, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna roll into our upper back. You guys will be familiar with this drill from now if you've watched my other windmill tutorials. And then from here, we're gonna rotate to our other side shoulder freeze. So you just went from here, come closer, shoulder here, okay? Then you're going upper back to here, other side shoulder freeze. So again, that was left shoulder, upper back, right shoulder freeze. So if you notice my head's on the ground the whole time, that's super important. If you're unfamiliar with that drill from the shoulder, upper back, shoulder, you can watch it in my other tutorials because I have a lot of breakdowns on that drill. So again, we're gonna add all that together now. Going, stab, shoulder, upper back, shoulder. One more time, going, stab, head down, shoulder, upper back, shoulder. Head staying on the ground the whole time. That's the most important part. Now this is the hardest part, okay? This part is where a lot of people struggle with because their legs are gonna be too low, they're not high enough on their back, so they're not gonna understand how to pump back up. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna learn how to do this position, just from your bum, into a stab, okay? So what you're gonna do, I'm going counterclockwise, so I'm stabbing left. If you're stabbing left like I am, you can do the same way I am. If not, just reverse it. So because I'm stabbing left, my right leg's gonna be kicking around, going down to my shoulder, then upper back to here. Once I get to here, I'm gonna bring everything in, nice and close, pump to the sky, okay? So that's a in, pump, coming down. So add that together, you have kick, pump, okay? Now what you wanna do is relax your head backwards so it's just skimming on the ground. Watching my head, going, boom, okay? Obviously, I'm not gonna slam my head in the ground, so make sure it's controlled there, but you still wanna feel the ground a little bit. Now what you're gonna do is do that same thing, but hit a shoulder freeze. So you're gonna go, boom, just like that. Notice my legs coming down. Good. That's what's gonna happen. Because first, we're gonna do the same thing, but with our leg coming down like we did, here, and then with these hands, push up onto your head, just like that, okay? So that was shoulder freeze on your right side, if you're going the same way as I am, leg pushing up onto your head, okay? Now, add that all together, going, kick, boom. Now, all we have to do at the end of that, stab into our freeze. So we're going here, up, stab, legs up. Now you do the exact same thing, but with your legs not hitting the ground, which I know is the hard part, but if you use your head as a ramp, it's not that challenging, because all you're gonna be doing is using that momentum from the beginning, boom, stab. Now all you have to do is keep your legs off the ground. How you do that is by, again, using your head as a ramp to get up. So watching, going, head, ramp, catch. If you notice, I naturally catch in my side chair because that's what you want to do when you're going from multiple windmills or into a freeze or anything. If you don't understand that first position, which was this, then you're going to really struggle with all of this. Because if you don't understand that position, this is what's going to happen to your mills. Because windmills has this constant rotation. And if you understand how to keep that rotation going with your hips, by twisting them back from your stab into your side chair position, you're not going to be set up to transition out of it. You're just going to fall to the ground. So, going, this time, watch that hip twist. Going, hit, twist. So now, you go from your stab and you try the whole thing one more time, but with your head on the ground. So, going from here, going around, catch. If you notice, that looked and felt way cleaner and easier for me than not using my head. Because when you don't use your head, it's so sketchy because you're trying to not face plant on the ground. But if your head's on the ground, it's super easy. Now, I understand that that's still a stab mill, but that's the transition piece, okay? Understanding how to use your head and that pump, now head mills is gonna be super easy because all you have to do is go a little bit higher. So rather than going into your stab, all you have to do is go a little bit off your stab, which is this position. So from here, you go to here, okay? That's your head mill position. It's not a full headstand, and it's also not stab. It's just above your stab. And eventually it'll come lower and lower and become barrels or whatever you want, but learn how to do it with your hands first. It's basically a barrel position, but with your hands slightly touching the ground. So again, we're gonna go back to here one time, just so you get comfortable with it. I want you to do the same thing we did before, but rather than trying to catch your stab, I want you to try and catch a little bit higher than your stab. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do the same pump here to here. Notice that I'm high on my head, like this. That's what you want, okay? Then, once you're here, your legs are up here. And then you can come a little bit lower, which is the position you're gonna be in. So I want you to try and pump to that position. How you do that again, straighten your legs high as you can, whipping your arms through the same way you would with a stab mill or whatever. Just make sure it whips and you catch here, not here. Because right now you're in a habit of catching like this, and you're gonna break that habit by catching just like that, okay? So watching, going, up, drop, okay? So just get comfortable there. Don't worry about going through yet, just worry about getting up and not feeling your stab, and you're on your head and you're just feeling like you're balancing kind of somehow, but you don't really know how. So you're going again here, up, let go, okay? Now, once you kind of get that, all you have to do is keep that leg kicking through and then twist to that shoulder. So you're gonna be going, for me, if you're kicking this leg, which is your right, your left leg's gonna be your re-kicking leg, which means when you catch in your head, this leg, my lefty, is gonna be the one that's re-kicking down into my shoulder. So you're going here, through, okay? So if you notice that leg hooks right close to my head, because for now, we're trying to hit it. We're not worrying about form, cleanliness, or anything. We're just trying to keep our legs off the ground. So when you're up there, keep that leg nice and close to your head. Doing this position, okay? Nice and close. Watch again. Going here, up, catch. You see? That's what's gonna keep your leg from dragging along the ground. Now that you understand your unstab placement for your head mills, all you have to do is start adding it back into your stab mills. So you can again go from stab if you want, or you can go from a headstand, you can go from handstand, you can go from standing, you can literally go from wherever you want. But just for ease of comfort, because I know you're comfortable with going from here probably, we're gonna start here, and now I'm just gonna show you how you ramp it up, okay? So once you've done your first initial stab mill and you're on your back, do that same pump, get higher, and then go back down to your back, okay? So you're going from here, going through, up, catch. You see? So if you notice, I'm not, again, going super high up. I'm not worried about pumping up to a big headstand. I'm just going a little bit higher from my stab, okay? So the big myth here is people think when you do head mills, you go super high, okay? Now this is actually wrong. I thought this too in the beginning. The reality is just when you're doing head mills, your hands are in the same line, like this. Stab mills, you're here, and you're always catching, which is slowing you down. When you start doing head mills, you're here, and that allows you to transition to here, which transitions you to barrels and other things like that. So going again, let's go stab and try and do like 2 head mills, okay? So here. Just like that. So if you notice the insert clips of my fast head mills are from past videos, the reason for that is because my left hip I injured and I'm still getting over it, so I don't want to push it. It's feeling good right now, which is sick, because that was no pain, nothing. It's like, it feels very loose right now, but it doesn't feel like it's sore or any negative things. So that's sick! So I'm super happy about that. But anyways, that's why I'm not demonstrating super fast ones right now, because I don't want to test my luck, you know? On that note though, I hope this helps. Again, I know this one's a little bit funky, but it's really not as hard as it seems. It's just people like to overcomplicate it. But if you learn how to do the stab, shoulder, upper back, shoulder to head, and then if you learn how to do the back roll to stab and then to higher stab, which is unstabbed, then it's gonna be pretty, excuse me, burping, easy for you to get. Hope this helped everybody. If you like this video, please comment down below, like down below, subscribe, and tell me what power move or transition you'd like to see me upgrade next. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next one. Before you go, if you're not completely sick of my face already, don't forget to get my free course, Breaking Made Simple. To access the course, all you have to do is go to the link down below. To get the free download, all you have to do is join the Facebook group, Breaking Made Simple, which is a hub for people to learn, grow, and just get better and become the best b-boys they possibly can, man. And be great.